Good afternoon, everyone. थोड़ा और आवाज. Okay, so before we begin, I see a lot of young people here. Of course, younger than me. I am also young. So younger people here from college or some institutes. So I want to know from the entire crowd who all is from pharmaceutical field or who are interested in pharma. Good, at least 50% of them, right? Okay, and who all want to make a career on the technical side of it, like quality research or oh my God, not even one. Dr. Amit, क्या करोगे आप? एक भी नहीं है. Okay, one, good. Okay, and then for the ones who want to make a career in marketing side or product management side, we also so that you have a good audience. Okay, so less of a technical audience, but more of an audience who is interested in product management or marketing side. Though we are going to touch three major aspects of pharmaceutical, which is innovation, quality, and patient impact. So it's my honor to introduce the able panelists here, each of whom they bring wealth of experience and insight. They're going to bring it to our conversation. I would also like to thank the wonderful audience here. So first time I am seeing a lot of young crowd in the audience. So I go to a lot of colleges for giving lectures or taking sessions, but then there are pure college lectures. But at such places, having the crowd from college is really quite good. So I'm sure you are going to take a lot of amazing pointers back home. So first we have with us Mr. Manoj Chitnis, who is currently working as Vice President, Corporate Quality Head at JB Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals. Manoj has been serving the pharmaceutical industry for more than 29 years now. He has worked at plant, at the manufacturing plant, at corporate office in various functions such as production, QC, quality control, external manufacturing, then validations, qualifications. And he has worked previously before JB Chemicals in organizations like Amneal, Lupin, Ratio Farm, Abbott, Ranbaxy, and USV. So his work has significantly shaped the field of the function of quality assurance in these organizations. Next is Mr. Ajay Padi, who is currently working with Zentiva as Head of Corporate Quality Strategy and Integration. Quite a fancy function, but I'm sure he's going to bring a lot of good insight to us. He has also previously worked with Sanofi for quite a long time, Alchem, Promed, Alembic, and Unichem. So we both worked in Unichem, though at different times. So I understand he worked in Baddi and I was at corporate office. So he has been serving the industry for more than 21 years now, and his expertise lies in quality assurance, audits, qualifications, validations, etc. Today his contributions continue to inspire professionals like you, younger professionals like you, across the quality assurance function. Our third panelist is Mr. Subhash Pundir, who is the founder and director of Six Sigma Healthcare Communications. He is spearheading this organization today, which works primarily, correct me if wrong, Subhash, which works primarily in the field of pharmaceutical marketing, research insights, medico marketing, branding, and digital solutions, as well as brand launches. So a hardcore marketing person. So Mr. Subhash, before starting Six Sigma, previously worked with Novartis. You all know Novartis, a big organization worldwide in the field of marketing, and he launched new business models in different therapeutic segments. We are thrilled to have him with us today. And finally joining us is Dr. Amit Gosar, a well-known scientist in the pharmaceutical industry. He is currently associated with Indoco Remedies as Head Analytical Research. He is skilled in analytical research, generic programming, and various analytical techniques. Out of his expertise, he is also a research guide at the SMU University, and to the best of my surprise, he is also a practicing psychotherapist, clinical hypnotherapist, NLP, and holistic healer, and a life coach. So thank you, everyone. My name is Dr. Amol Yelgaonkar. I head the Asia Pacific business of Pharma Group. Pharma is the world's largest consulting organization for pharma, biotech, and medical device organizations. We worldwide are more than 3,000 consultants, very senior consultants across all 6 continents and more than 180 countries worldwide. So my basic profile in India is the entire business of Pharma, including the technical business development and everything. So today we are having this conversation at quite a remarkable moment for our pharmaceutical industry. So science, you all know science is advancing at a great pace. We cannot match that pace of science pace. So which we have never experienced earlier, like AI-enabled discovery, CNGT, which is cell and gene therapies, digital tech, and at the same time, the expectations of regulators around quality, transparency, and basically patient centricity, they have never been higher so far as they are today. For a long time, I think there are a lot of stalwarts here that like Dr. Ashok. So he will agree to me that for a long time, excellence in pharma was only measured by number of product launches. हमने इस साल 20 product launch किए, yeah. It was never measured by innovation. Basically, it was measured only by breakthrough molecules. We have 4 breakthrough molecules this year. So that was the excellence at that time. And how we could deliver that at a fast pace. हम लोगों ने 6 months में product launch किया, 3 months में product launch किया. But today, excellence has a much broader meaning. It's about innovation that is responsible, quality that is uncompromising. Just a while before I said, quality is an integral part of any business. And the impact that is truly felt by the patients. The impact basically should be felt by the patients of any business and not all of us. So we are shifting from a product mindset to a impact mindset. And that's very important. But are we improving the outcomes? Are we reaching patients equitably? Are all the patients same for us? The patient who is having a lot of money, he is getting treated well. The patient who doesn't have money is not getting treated well. Are we earning and are we earning trust and sustainability? These are the questions to ask. So our panel today brings together leaders who are not only advancing cutting edge science like Dr. Amit, who's in the research field, but they are also redefining what execution, quality, and patient focus look like. So today, we all are going to explore 3 interconnected themes: innovation, what's accelerating discovery; quality, how modern systems and culture elevate the trust. Quality is nothing but trust. And patient impact, how we close the gap between what science makes possible and what patients experience. So that is what we are going to do today. So my hope today is, this conversation leaves all of us, with a clearer view of what excellence means in this new era. So to start off, I would like to start with Dr. Amit, pose the first question to him. So Dr. Amit, from your point, what defines true research excellence today? And how is the breakthrough science directly impacting the patient? So why I'm asking him, because in the research field, we never think, a general person will never think that my research, how is going to impact the patient. So this question is very important, and that's why I'm going to pose this question to Dr. Amit.
Yeah. So good afternoon, all of you. And thank you for having me here. When it comes to pharma excellence, I would say when we are driving a car, we always look in front. But we also have a rear view mirror, and we have to, in between take a glance. And since there are a lot of students, I would like to go back, a small recap, how we have excelled till now in pharma research. So if I go back to ancient age, how therapy used to be done was purely patient-centric, and it was personalized therapy. So based on, the morphology and type, body type like Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the diagnosis used to be done, and for each individual, based on his condition, a special therapy used to be, devised. Special medications has to be given. They were plant and herbs. So when innovation started, this is the story even up to almost 18th century. This was the tradition. Then early 19th century, when industrialization started, so there was a need felt by that time's possibly scientists that we also should be starting research. So they started with those traditional method only, but they started isolating those active ingredients from those plants and herbs. So that was the basic they started. Quinine is one example, So how malaria was treated. There was one lake, and if you used to drink that water, your malaria used to get treated. So there was, I would say, superstition. But then they realized that there was a plant whose leaves were going inside the lake, and then they found that okay, this is a quinine, nothing more than quinine. So then research took that direction, where they started isolating ingredients from different plants. And I would say late 19th to 20th, early 20th century, then the systematic research started, which replaced this trial and error kind of thing. And we have example of penicillin, so it was isolated, sulfa drugs. So they changed the whole gamut, and the infectious diseases were that time then treated very well. So going forward, scientists, they focused more. They tried understanding, the drugs to molecular level, and they focused more on drug receptor interaction or drug interaction with enzymes, specific enzymes in our body, and they tried synthesizing or designing those kind of drugs. So then whole, new pathways were identified, and based on that, the discovery started. So they used to have molecules like we call it as beta blockers, or calcium channel receptors, or statins then came in picture. A good amount of functional antibiotics, structural antibiotics. So that way, that progressed. I would say approach progressed. This is all up to, small molecules. And then as he said that, the excellence was defined how many molecules we are launching. So there was a huge competition between innovator companies to come up with new drugs. So they started, and I would say AI is just coming today, but there was a kind of intelligence they used to use, and they used to use 3D modeling. They used to derive lot of structures. So around 10,000 structures they have for say particular disease. And out of 10,000, how to screen all those? It is not impossible, practically impossible to synthesize all 10,000 and then. So then started, this AI is at help, wherein, we are having 3D modeling, automated screening method where we can narrow down and get only few candidates which can be immediately synthesized. So this is how we have excelled from nowhere, nothing knowing about nothing from plants to structured, way of synthesize where we know which molecule we are going to synthesize and how it is going to impact. This is all about small molecules. The journey of larger molecules is now started since 20th century, and we are focusing more on DNA-based therapies. So CAR T cells and I would say stem cell therapy is also now been accepted well in India. So these are the current examples where research is going. The AI and ML is now at our help to screen, to identify those molecules, to narrow down the process of selection, also to narrow down the process of the first stage of discovery. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, it is helping us a lot. So this is what research is now excelling. This is no more molecular chemistry. It is going beyond the molecules. The research is going beyond the innovation now, and we are also incorporating quality compliance in the research phase. Yeah. So this is how we are progressing, and I would say excellence has come now with the patient-centric approach where quality also is imbibed during research.
Exactly. So, during the olden days, people used to think if I'm doing some research, quality is not applicable for me. I'm not going to document anything. So that was 20 years before. But today, and I would like to pick up from the same, statement of Dr. Amit and, go to Dr. Manoj when he speaks about quality during the research and development phase. I would like to ask Dr. Manoj that quality today is more strategic than ever. It is just not documentation. It is just not a SOP. It is more of a strategy than ever. So how has the role of quality evolved, pharma excellence, and what does quality leadership mean today in 2025?
Thank you. So, just to start, everything is strategic. Even to plan a lunch during the spread of buffet, how to fill your tummy is also a strategy. So, just to set up the context, as you rightly said, that quality also has to be a strategic way or an approach. But let us understand what quality exactly is. May I ask anyone to define or your expectation what a quality should be or how it can be defined? Can anyone? Any parameter of quality? So, if you don't know what quality is, how you will achieve it? How you will decide the strategy to achieve it? So, let's understand what quality is basically. So, quality can be defined by three parameters, basically two. One is specification. So, you go in market, you buy a mobile, you buy a TV, you have certain specifications in your mind, right? And that specification may vary from a person A to person B, right? So we have first part as specification for to have a kind of expected quality. Now second thing comes is performance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same example, mobile, TV, even Amitabh Bachchan, who is working as an actor, or any actress, you have certain expectation about a performance. You watch movies based on the star cast many a times. Third and the foremost parameter is customer expectations, right? Again, the example of Amitabh Bachchan we can have. He doesn't have the right specifications to deliver as an actor in the initial days, but he changed the approach and his performance overlapped everything, right? And customer accepted him as an actor, and then rest is the history, correct? So if we want to define quality, these are the three parameters by virtue of which quality can be defined. The first part is specification, second part is performance, and third part is customer expectations. Thank you. So now once we have defined the quality, now the approach, how to achieve it becomes very easy. Now where you want to have quality? In a process and the product. So you need to know what goes into the process. So can you define a process? It's simple. Input is equal to output. So you control the input, you control the output. Very right. Thank you. So what are those input then? Raw material, yes. So we can have, it's a 5M concept. We have material, we have machine, labor, man, yes, method, and milieu. Money is also a resource. So we have these 5 M's. The fifth one is milieu. Milieu means the environment in which you are controlling the process. So like we work in pharma industry and we are having kind of restrictions towards the contamination and cross-contamination. So we control the environment as well to have a good or quality output. So having understanding of these inputs, going forward, when we talk about the excellence, now how excellence is related with quality. So what is an excellence then? So as doctor also explained, it can be an innovation. Like I was reading an article about a water brand, the mineral water bottle. And they just changed weight of their cap because it was very difficult to change the bottle specification because of some commercial reason, brand acceptance and all. So what they did, they just changed the weight of the cap. And with that, they saved almost 1 billion rupees. And at the same time, they saved almost 1 ton of plastic, which is a kind of contribution to the environmental safety. So this is something we call as excellence by innovation. But when you go into commercial manufacturing, mostly excellence is understand towards the downtime reduction or improvement in the outcome or the operational comfort. Now, the quality, we always say that it is designed or developed in the process. So as Dr. rightly said, there are tools available. We can introduce the quality parameters while the product is under development. And we can control the critical process parameter as well as the critical quality attributes of the product while the process is being developed. Right? And that's how we can achieve the excellence. And once the process, because the data is very insufficient when we are developing the product, when you are working on it, we have lesser batch sizes, we have smaller machines. So when we go into commercial manufacturing, and it is applied to any product. So you can take it pharma, mobile, or any product. So at the initial level, the data is very insufficient to design or develop the process, how it will behave towards the commercial manufacturing. Now, there are phases. So one part is the development. We have some data. Then we go into exhibit manufacturing. That means manufacturing a batch in the same environment using the same machines and see how it performs. Then we go into commercial manufacturing and we have lots of data available. So with the data analysis, we can control the process quality. Coming back to the, you said how the leadership should evolve into it. So a leader has to have a vision, basically, and ultimately some followers to execute the vision. That's all I can say, and I will stop here. Thank you.
So when it comes to leadership, I would like to also ask Mr. Ajay. So because he's also working at a leadership position at a very good organization called Zentiva. So what should quality leaders prioritize today to prepare the next decade, these people, the young generation, for this change? So what should be the priorities of the quality leaders?
Thank you. I think Dr.
Suresh, I'll come to you at the last because you are the last mile, the marketing thing. So.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. And when I say this, young people, two things that really strikes me in my mind. One is that all of us, the leaders, mostly what I've seen, they are into their mid-40s or mid-50s. In next 10 years, either they are going to retire or they are going to be towards the end of their career. And millennials or Gen Z like this are going to step into the leadership role. So I'm very happy to see all these young boys, kids, and boys and girls are here. So in next 10 years, probably some of you will be into that leadership role. So it is important, there are two dimensions. What we should do to remain relevant, to compete with you all, because you are tech savvy, probably we are not.
Very important.
So how we can remain compete with you and remain relevant. And second, as Gen Z or millennial, how you will be stepping into that leadership role. So if I have to give two priorities, so one priority for us, that we should adopt or imbibe AI digitalization as fast as possible. When I say digitalization, it is, are we doing digital or being digital? I mean, doing digital means implementing some batch records, electronic batch record or something digitally, but putting that digital concept in the mindset right from the core when you start thinking of something is being digital. So we need to adopt that as leaders. And youngsters like you, I recommend that you must strengthen your basics, the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are being transparent, being genuine to yourself, and doing the right things when nobody is watching it. Yeah. So these kind of habits you have to develop and then step into that leadership role. So already you have this digitalization already imbibed within yourself. So only thing, keep that as a priority. Make your basics strong, fundamentals strong, and then you can step into the leadership role. So these are the two recommendations or priorities for me at this point of time.
Thank you so much. Absolutely, and this is what is going to make organizations bigger, organizations successful. The people, organization is nothing but the people who work for it. So, so when it comes to organizations, you know, I have seen some very good organizations, I have seen some average organizations, and I have seen some, you know, very bad organizations also, and that is defined by the people, the processes, you know, which are followed by those organizations. So I would like to ask Mr. Subhash, you know, because he has been there, done that, gone through everything. So you know, so across your clients, so he has a clientele, a huge clientele, you know, across pharma industry. So he knows the people who are at the leadership position. He interacts a lot of you know, times with them. So across your clients, I would like to ask what distinguishes the organizations that excel in innovation, quality, and patient impact from those organizations which are really struggling to keep up the pace.
First of all, thank you, Dr. Amol, for setting the scene. This is a very important part, and I was really amused to see that a lot of hands were raised when Dr. Amol asked how many for marketing, and I hope I'll be able to add value to them and many others. So that's a great question, actually. There are organizations which are really excelling in their field, but there are organizations which are trying to catch up there. If I have to summarize in a simple language, I'll say those who are acing innovation are the one who are at the leadership position. When I say acing up, means A for, if you say alignment, C for capability, and E for execution. Wow. So when you say alignment, and I'll give you a little perspective how the pharma dynamics have changed in last 10 years. So I was in Novartis working in a multinational. We used to have all kind of product. We used to have Overon mass market product. We used to have specialty product. We used to have oncology. We have to have ophthalmology. We even came to diabetes with one product, Galvus, which became blockbuster. That was the approach which MNCs were having earlier. And I'll also come into how Indian companies have shaped it up over a period of time. Cut to, after 10 years, today, and I was interacting with one of the MD of one of the leading multinational, he was saying we are absolutely focused. We are doing a strategic innovation. So innovation cannot be only at a product front. I think we learned a lot of good things from my fellow panelists, that innovation happens at every level. When you talk about strategic innovation, you see how the MNCs have transformed, right? Currently, if you see, most of the MNC have started operating in the space they think they can really add value. Most of the MNC have got a great product innovation happening in rare disease, oncology, gene therapy. So that's the space they say we know that we can add value to those spaces, and that's the place where they are operating. If you see, they're really catering to the entire patient pathway in those, right? Whether you talk about awareness, diagnosis, access, treatment, and adherence. So I think entire patient pathway is being taken care by them. I'll give you a little example of this. If you see. If you see currently, and I'll give you an example of my time. So when I was there in oncology, it took us some 8 years to make a product 50 crore. And today we have one brand in 4 years which has touched 1,000 crore in oncology. So that's the kind of awareness which has reached. If you have heard about Keytruda, Opdivo, these are the brand which have touched 1,000 crore, as good as any pharma company. And there are MNCs which are surviving only just because of that one innovative brands. So I'm talking about how strategic innovation has shaped up. Moving on to C, which I talked about, capabilities, I really want to say a big transformation has happened in India pharmaceutical industry. Today we cater to almost 20% of the generic drug globally. And we have over 600 US FDA plant. I think 601 is here because Dr. Amit shared with us today that his plant also got a green signal from US FDA. 600 US FDA plant is the highest outside US by any country, right? Coming on to marketing. See, MNCs know they don't have a depth, they don't have an understanding of Indian market. They can't go to tier 2, tier 3 city because of their own challenge. I'm not saying they don't intend to do it. They have global implication. What they have beautifully done is they have partnered with the strong Indian companies, symbiotic effect. Taking an example of recently, we are working with Mounjaro. I'm sure a lot would have heard about Mounjaro and Ozempic. Karan Johar factor. So we just launched Munjaro 6 months back. Earlier it took us, when I was in Novartis, took us 4 years to have a symbiotic approach and reach out to companies like Nicholas and USB to partner with them and help the drug reach to tier 2, tier 3 town. Within 6 months today, if you see Munjaro or Lilly has tied up with Cipla, and they are now going ahead to help patient get access of these drugs. So that's where the capability come into picture and how your strategic alignment has overall shifted. Coming on to last, E for execution. So if you see, I think I'm sure all of us will agree earlier, as sir also said, that earlier it used to be number, product shelf mein jana chahiye, maal bik jayega. Gone are those days. Execution is touching every path in patient journey. Whether you're working at an awareness level, you are bringing patient to the treatment funnel or not. And I'm really happy, and we are working with Sun Pharma, Cipla, and many other companies. They are doing a wonderful job in that. I'll give you an example of a global initiative, global won't say, but it's a corporate level initiative which is launched by Sun Pharma with the name of Roshni. It's for glaucoma awareness. And earlier, when I used to be in brand management, it used to be one pie. अच्छा यार आपको 10 करोड़ मिला ना, आधा 50 लाख आप ना ये एक awareness drive कर दो, diabetes day कर दो. That used to be approach. It used to be a tick mark exercise. Today it has become a corporate social responsibilities. And hats off to the organization for taking it up. So again, I'll sum it up by saying that those who are acing this, as I said, alignment, capability, execution are the one who are leading it. And I'm sure there's a lot of companies who are catching up with it.
Thank you so much, Subhash. So affordability and availability are two different things. It should not be the case that the drug is available only to the people who can afford it. So again, the Karan Johar story. So come to it. So again, I will again come back to the circle. I need to complete those circle because it's a wheel which is going to be discussed today. I will come back to Dr. Amit because I know that he was talking on a very interesting subject and he had to cut off because in the interest of time. So I would like to ask him again because now we got the entire scenario, how it goes to marketing, how marketing companies are working now. So what scientific or technological trends will significantly reshape the pharma in next 5 years? Because we have to look at the future. So maybe in next 5 or 10 years. What are the trends which are going to significantly impact?
So if I say in one word is AI ML.
Yeah.
And if I say one more sentence, possibly Indian pharma sector is going from 15 billion to 130 billion by 2030.
Next,
And definitely 500 by 2047. That is for sure. We are all geared up for that. I will give you just one example and possibly my answer will come from there. There was one advertisement displayed in Tokyo airport. It is Samsung advertisement. So they have shown one hospital, Samsung hospital. And a family, they are driving car and parking in parking slot of hospital. Their car number was scanned and family files were got activated. As soon as they came out, their retina was scanned and the patient documents were out.
Wow.
While they were going through the corridor, there were sensors both the side of the wall, and they were scanning the temperature, blood pressure, and lot of other tests, were happening. So by the time they reached to reception, they were given a number which doctor they have to consult. So by the time they reached to doctor, their reports were ready with doctor. And doctor diagnosed, gave him, whatever prescription. By the time they reached back to reception, their medicines were packed and ready with them. And it took just a 5 minutes for them to, complete the circle. So this is what trend, in healthcare industry we are going to see in very soon future. From generic medicines for all to a very, personalized medications. So CAR T-cell therapy for cancer, which is possibly radiation, which will get rid of radiation and chemotherapy, painful therapy. Stem cells, as I already told you. So we are working more towards gene therapies, which will be definitely very specialized for that particular person, because every person has different DNA conformations. So we will be very soon working on, we will be decoding DNA of individual and then possibly modifying them with appropriate CAR T cell or some other therapy. So this is what is going to be the future. If we see India being a little late as innovator, we still have generic mindset. Possibly we are doing a lot of digital innovation in AI, using AI ML. As you know, already we have heard that during manufacturing we are doing continuous manufacturing process. Quality has also already digitalized. Processes are automized. So this is what is the trend which will lead us to that 130 crore target. Automation, AI ML, every aspect, right from development till commercialization.
Great. Okay. So, I'm just being told that we have just last 10 minutes. So I'm going to ask only probably 2 minutes each, just 3 questions, 2 minutes each, to enable this, whatever Dr. Amit has told us, to enable this, we really need to move from a compliance mindset to a culture mindset in quality. So again, I would come back to Mr. Manoj and ask him, so how do we move from a compliance mindset to culture, building a quality culture mindset to enable this? Yeah, you need to just wrap up in 2 minutes, everyone. So let's
Okay, thank you. So basically when we talk about a culture, it indicates some behavioral attributes or institutes or disbelief of a society. But when we talk about mindset, immediately it becomes personal. Now in a scenario where hundreds of people are working together, it is really difficult to change the mindset in totality. But you can train the people by virtue of walk the talk. Because as a leader, if you don't establish an example or set an example for the people, then it will be really difficult for people to work in the same path. Second part is motivation. There has to be a motivation to do the right things, and people should know that what would be the outcome. And third part, I would like to say that you have to, as a leader, you should create followers who are distinguished followers. It should be like a pair of Krishna and Arjun. We used to say them as Nara and Narayana, right? So both complement each other. Krishna definitely having some capabilities more than Arjuna, but he used the capabilities of Arjuna as a kind of warrior, and both excelled.
Disciples should be equally competent.
Yes, and both excelled. So as a leader, you should not diminish the follower. You have to give the equal opportunity, and as I said, it has to complement each other. Thank you.
Great thought. So on the same lines, I would move to Ajay and ask him, all said and done, there are still two things which are constantly being talked about in quality. So what is the biggest risk, to quality today, and what is the biggest opportunity in quality today? So just two things I would like to.
Okay. I think very nice examples has been quoted. I was really impressed the hospital one. I think we'll be doing that. So I'll try to complete as quick as possible. So let me take the biggest risk. Today I feel the biggest risk what we are having is that every pharma company is stretching their leg. They are going into different geographies, different countries. As you enter into different countries, you come across different regulations, different complexities, different expectations. So that complexity is a challenge for me. And also one more thing that is a challenge for me, if when I look back my career when I started, the EU GMP, the GMP guidelines, GMP stands for Good Manufacturing Practices. The GMP guidelines were written 10 years, 15 years back, and they are still stands valid. But if you see the observations coming from the inspectors or the kind of findings they are writing in the report, I fail to understand what has changed. The guidelines are same 15 years back and today as well, and still the expectation, the things are changing. So I mean that is a different thing. I mean 10 years back all we used to have HPLCs with 21 CFR compliance, and we are talking about that, and today if you see everything is done. Now what is in the next 10 years going to come, those complexities, that big keeps me, sometimes I wake up at night and think that what will happen in next 10 years from now. I mean the expectations are changing, interpretation of the guidelines are changing, and that's how it is becoming more complex. new topics like nitrosamines, mutagenic impurity, carcinogenic impurity. These are coming in, and authorities are jumping on us as pharma industry, and we're struggling. So that is the risk. Having said that, the opportunities that we have, I feel, is simplification. We can simplify our job. I do a lot of due diligence in my new role. So I do visits and review sites and all that. And I was surprised to see in one of the USFDA approved plant, the manufacturing record was having 250 pages. Can you imagine an operator has to fill up this batch record 250 pages? And we expect that there will be no human error, no missing signatures and all that. So I think this is what we can do. This is an opportunity in our hands. So simplification of what we are having, and also how we can control our overcommitment to authorities. Whenever authorities come, any observation we say, we'll do this, that and that and that. But actually we should look, are they really required? Practically.
Yeah.
So these are the two things I would say.
Great.
As
Yeah.
risk and opportunities. Thank you.
Again, we are talking about AI and ML everywhere. When he spoke about, turning manual records into, software and so on. Again, AI plays a lot of important part. But I would like to come back to Subhash and ask him, the icing on the cake answer. So it always, I'm always curious about, the marketing side of pharma, because I've never worked in that. So today, when we are on the brink of that, so what is the most outdated assumption in the pharma industry? Because we are still working, as Ajay said, that we are still working on the old guidelines, 15 years before the guidelines which were drafted. I'm curious to understand, is there the same scenario on the marketing side also? So what is, or probably what are the most outdated assumptions in pharma marketing side that is holding us back from, achieving that excellence?
Oh, there is a whole lot of list. And it has all to do with our own preconceived notion and not actually based on the market insights. So I'll talk about first is molecule myth. When you talk about molecule myth, you say the molecule is strong, the data is great, the molecule is going to be successful. Not now. There are great molecules which have failed just because they have not been properly marketed. And when I'm saying marketing is not about selling, so what they have not even not been able to touch the entire the journey of the patients. I'll give you one example. I think that will give the context to it. Tofacitinib, an amazing molecule for rheumatoid arthritis, was launched 6 years back. Just because of lack of promotion, pricing, and right people. When I say right people, is number of people. Yeah. So you are putting 15 people to launch Tofacitinib, which is in RA market. The brand reached 20 crore in 3 years. LOE happened 2 years back. Today the market is 400 crore. The first number one, you're reaching only to rheumatologists, that to handful of rheumatologists. No HCP education, limited to only handful of key opinion leader, that to those key opinion leader who are already exposed to global forums. They already know the product. You're not going deep down because your own muscle is not allowing you to go. Today our Indian pharma companies, they have reached to orthopedician level. Diagnosis is happening upfront. Patient is coming into funnel right now. And the market has exploded. So it benefits everybody. It benefits company, it benefits patient, it benefits HCPs. So as I said, molecule myth is gone. Secondly, I think most important thing I'll just like to summarize is the way brand promotion happens. Brand promotion is not equal to brand building. No. We just go in clinic, we detail it. And I'm seeing nowadays when I consult, when we discuss, we are working on almost 200 leading brand currently. And when we are saying working on, many a time we have to forcefully work on the same things, despite saying, because there are internal hierarchy which stops from doing innovations. So we'll see one brand having 100 page of visual aids, 100 page in a visual aid for one product. And you know how much time our rep goes. And I'm being very practical in that scenario. And I ask them, he gets 1 minute, doctor says, mujhe brand pata hai, and then you are still putting 100 pages of that data. So we really need to understand that not every shoe, one shoe fit all strategy is not going to work. We need to very carve out what is. Another thing to close up is digital is the verge. So every brand manager nowadays come, I want something digital. They don't know what digital. For them, digital is 2 emailers, 1 GIF. It's not gonna work, dude. You need to have a digital strategy. You need to go deep. You really need to work. So as I said, these are certain preconceived notion in a nutshell, whatever I can say. One is molecule myth. Secondly, brand promotion is not equal to brand building.
Yeah. So the difference between being digital and going digital. So that's really important. So all this, I would like to summarize. That we should tomorrow, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, we should be able to say that we brought innovation, quality, and patient impact together in a way that actually transformed the outcomes. So the end user, the patient, is what the outcome should be measured along with all other things like research, quality, metrics, and everything. So with this, I would like to thank the stalwart panelists for sharing such thoughtful and forward-looking perspectives. And thank you all for being a part of this conversation, your engagement. I really saw, some people, some students, some young people really giving a good ear to this and taking down the notes. I rarely see that nowadays, someone taking down the notes, and actually I would love that you go back home and then go through the notes and, build up something out of it. So I hope today's dialogue leaves you inspired to push your own boundaries, challenge your own assumptions, and continue shaping a future where innovation, quality, and patient impact or patient outcome, they all come together. Thank you for your time and participation. Thank you. Thank you so much.